Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Finding Mel, where we discuss all things that I'm going through, all things that I'm experiencing and learning as I go along this journey of refinding myself and reclaiming myself after years of trauma and abuse and just living life. Today we're going to talk about something really honest. We're going to jump right into it. And I really hope that you guys, can take something away from this because this was definitely a learning experience for me in my journey. So with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So I've been talking to someone who I really actually liked. I really actually liked this person. And I just felt like, we had some really great chemistry and like, really great chemistry. And I really wanted to get to know him on a different level better. And I will say this is like one of the first experiences I've had on this journey, and it did not end well. Yeah, this is one of the first experiences I've had on this journey since I became celibate. And it was easy. It was so, when you make the decision to become celibate and you're single and you're not talking to anyone and there's no one you're interested in, it is so easy to like, oh, I got this, I can do this, I can be celibate because you're not faced with temptation every day. However, once, if you're talking to someone, if you're, dating someone, if you're in a committed relationship with someone and you have made the decision to be celibate, it gets a little harder. That's why it's called temptation, of course. But it gets a little harder, and it was definitely so hard. So I started talking to this guy, and I was really, really like, I'm upset. I'm not upset because, we're no longer talking. I'm more upset that, of my choices and my actions. So I'm talking to this guy and I'm really, really digging him, really, really feeling him. And I'm like, okay, I want to see where this goes, And as we went further along into the situation, we're going to call it a situation. As we went further along into the situation, our conversations just kind of took a turn. And I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm feeling myself get tempted, and I'm feeling myself, like, okay, I really want to sleep with this guy. Like, I really want to sleep with this guy. And, and I'm having these conversations with myself, and it was like, I was a little, I don't know if you guys might have seen my other video, but I was a little on the fence about continuing to talk to him, because I just felt like you're not helping the situation. You're also, claiming you're celibate, and, we want the same things, and we're both walking this celibacy journey, but you're not helping this situation. But I continued to talk to him. And as, time went on, the conversations became more and more inappropriate and crossing a lot more of my boundaries. One of the things that I've learned in this journey is to set boundaries and to stick to them. And unfortunately, in this situation, I did not. I had a lot of boundaries set, but I did not stick to them. And I'm sorry, just fixing my shirt. It's annoying me. It's annoying me. But, I had a lot of boundaries set, and I unfortunately did not stick to them, which is a learning experience. It's totally a learning experience for me. I'm taking this all as a learning experience. So, unfortunately, one thing led to another, and I did end up breaking my celibacy and sleeping with this person. And, afterwards I was like, oh my God, what did you do? What did you do? I cannot believe, and I'm beating myself up. Mel, I can't believe you did that. Like, what's going on, Mel? Like, it was like total regret, because I was doing so well, and, but at the end of the day, like I thought about it all. The next day, I was just, oh my God, like I can't believe you did this. And I thought about it and I prayed about it. And today I went to church, and it's so crazy. Like I felt like, and I mentioned this in my previous video, that I felt like God was sending me messages and God was trying to tell me. And I'm not going to say I wasn't understanding God's message. I'm not going to say any of that. I blatantly disregarded it because I wanted what I wanted. We're going to be honest. Y'all know I'm all about, being, very honest and open and transparent with you. I wanted what I wanted, and I talked about it was plain as day what God was telling me, and I'm like, God, I want what I want. The flesh is weak, God. The flesh is weak. So I did end up sleeping with the guy, and I instantly regretted it. And I like the next day I prayed on it, and I was, God, please forgive me. Please help me to stay strong. And God's like, okay, you definitely cannot talk to this person anymore. Like, this is not who your husband is supposed to be. And I said to a friend that I was talking to afterwards, about it. And I said, my husband, I'm not sleeping with my husband. Like, the person who is supposed to be my husband, the person who I will marry, the person I will spend the rest of my life with, we're not going to know each other before marriage. That is something I'm stern on. That is something I really want. And this guy ain't it. And she wasn't quite under. She's like, so because you slept with him beforehand, that means you can't. No, I can't. Like, because that's not God told me that he wanted me to abstain. God told me that, he wanted me to, whatever partner I had would also abstain with me. And this ain't it. He ain't it, sorry. So he ain't my husband. And if he's not my husband, and I know he's not going to be my husband, I know there's no chance for him to be my husband because we've now slept together. Why would I continue talking to him or any type of relationship with him? Because I'm dating with a purpose. So he ain't it. Sorry. He's not it. And it, like, I feel like, wow, like that sucks. But at the same time, and it's so crazy because I know, like, if you're celibate and you fall, you make a mistake, you fall, and you're like, well, all right, I fell, let me keep doing it. You don't have to keep doing it. Like, you don't. Like, you can say, okay, I made a mistake, God, and I'm sorry, and I made a mistake, and please, God, help me to be strong on this journey. Please, help me be strong in my celibacy, my promise to you. Even if your partner's on the same page, sit down and talk with your partner about it, and pray together about it, and ask God to help you both to be strong in your journey. You don't have to, it's not like, oh, I messed up and there's no chance of, going back. Like, you cannot take back what you did, but you can start fresh. And, in my case, that's just a choice that is not, for me, that's a choice that's just not possible. But, your circumstances may be different, and that's okay because everyone's on a different path. Everyone, makes different choices to suit their individual circumstances. But it doesn't have to be the end of it because it's hard. It is so hard we're living in a world that's telling us that premarital sex before marriage, sex with multiple partners, one night stands. We're living in a world that's telling us that's okay, that's the normal. And I'm not judging anyone who chooses to live that lifestyle. And I hope, no one misunderstands. Like, I'm not judging you. If that's the lifestyle you choose to live, that's the lifestyle you choose to live. But the lifestyle that my God has called for me to live is one that is completely different. But it's so hard when we live in this world that is full of chaos and sin, and we're trying to go along one path, but we have the world telling us it's not that bad. It's okay. We all make mistakes. Yes, we all make mistakes, but you know what? At the end of the day, we make a mistake. It's what you do after you make the mistake that truly counts. So, like I said, you just, if you should, make that mistake, you just pray about it and you ask God for strength and you move on and you try not to. You set different boundaries. Like, one boundary for me now needs to be I can't talk. Like, before, it was my one boundary was, okay, we can't be together after a certain time of night. We can't be together after a certain time of night. You can't be in my house alone. I can't be in your house alone. That sort of thing. Now we can't talk on the phone after a certain time. Like, it's a learning experience for me, because like I said, this is something that's new to me. You just revisit your boundaries. If you should happen to, stumble, fall, revisit your boundaries. Okay, maybe we need to do something different. Where did we mess up before? Like, I know, not to get into specifics, but I know where I messed up before at. And so now I know what I need to do. Like, okay, let me write that on the list to make sure that the next time around, I don't put myself in these positions of temptation. But we will always be tempted. Like, the devil's always looking for new ways to tempt us. So we have to be prayed up and prepared and on the same page. Like, and it's so easy for us to, get derailed. It's so easy for us to lose track of, and if that happens, like I said, it's always tomorrow. It's always like that one mistake will not define you. It won't define you in my eyes. It won't define you in God's eyes. It won't define you. Do not let it define you in your, within yourself. You make a mistake, you pray about it, you ask God for forgiveness, and the next day you start fresh and just, learn from your mistakes. So I really wanted to share that with you guys, because it was something I was really torn, like, and I said, like I said, I'm transparent. You see so many, I follow a lot of people on social media, a lot of other influencers, and who are, practicing celibacy and dating. And it's like, how do you, are you not tempted? I need to hear about your temptation. I need to I need to hear about your temptations. I need to hear how hard it is for you. I need to hear all of that, because it's real out here. Like, I'll tell you, one of the things that I knew, and I wanted to say something and I didn't, because I'm like, this is a me issue. This isn't a him issue. It's a me issue. And I didn't want to put it on him, but we were FaceTiming one evening, I should say. We were FaceTiming, and, he's in his house and I'm in my house. And he was topless. And it's just, around his house after work. You come home, put on some sweatpants or joggers or whatever, I don't know. And you just walk around your house. You're not thinking twice about it. And I'm like, oh my God, this man has like the most beautiful chest I've ever seen. I want that. And it was like, oh my God, Mel, no. And I wanted to say to him, like, listen, if we're going to talk, if we're going to do this and we're going to FaceTime, you got to be fully covered. Like, the same way I got to be fully covered, you need to be fully covered. And it's sometimes the pressure is put so much on the woman in this situation that we forget, like, as women, we are attracted as well. Like, for me, I seen his chest and I was like, oh my God. Like, I was ready to drop the drawers. But for me, I'm being respectful. I'm fully covered. I'm not, making sure to cover everything. And I mean, naturally, I'm a modest person anyway. But, we as women, we have that pressure on us. But if, and I should have said, hey, listen, either we can't FaceTime or you need to cover. The same way I need to cover, you need to cover. And I think that was like the first instance where it was like, okay, this is going downhill and I need to stick to my boundaries and I need to be honest with myself, most of all, and with him as well, but with myself, or whatnot. So, yeah, that's just one of those things that we live from. And like I said, I made a mistake. I fell. I'm a backslider. Y'all. I'm taking an old school. I have not heard that term in church in a very long time. When I was growing up, it's like backsliders. But, I did something that I regret, and I asked God for forgiveness, and, I prayed about it. And then even when I went to church today, I prayed about it. And, God said, you're forgiven, just don't do it again. Or try harder not to do it again. But, things happen. Being honest and open, things happen. Things that we will regret, things that we don't mean to happen, things that, if you might go out drinking with your girls, one thing leads to another. It happens. But that's where God's grace and his love comes from, is that we can make mistakes and we can go to God and say, listen, God, I'm so sorry I made a mistake. You already know I made a mistake. You were there. But you go to God and you say, I made a mistake. And because of God loves us so much, because God has so much grace and mercy, he's going to forgive us, and he's going to give us that second and that third and that fourth and that fifth, do-over to try again. And every time we falter, every time we make a mistake, we learn from those mistakes. And we try not to have that third or fourth or fifth time, mistake. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I just wanted to, to share with you guys a very real account of my life, a very real account of celibacy and my celibacy journey. And, just pray for me, y'all, because it's hard out there. It's hard out there. But it is what it is. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to Finding Mel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and join me over on Instagram at FindingMel63, where, I share Bible study and I feel inspirational posts and just pictures, and we have a lot of fun. And I definitely post over on Instagram a lot more, but I'm going to get better at it. I promise you guys, definitely going to get better at it. It's just, life. But thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe, tell a friend, and in the comments below, let me know, can you, offer some words of encouragement to assist. Let me know, have you ever, made a mistake, even if it's not, as, in this realm of celibacy, but have you made a mistake where you just felt like, I really didn't mean to do that. There's no coming back from it. How did you handle it? Did you, do you feel like, or how would you handle it now, in a different space than you handle it then? Let a sister know. All right. Smooches.